Hey everyone, it's Mike here, and in today's video I'll be talking about 11 VHS movies that sell for really excellent profits on eBay, and I'm going to go into some detail about them and kind of talk about each one. But VHS movies, guys, they're everywhere and they're cheap. It's the one item I think consistently that you can go to thrift stores and you're not going to see them raise their prices on. Honestly, I mean, the day I walk into a thrift store and I see VHSs for $4.99, then something's wrong, right? But as many things I talk about here on my channel, I talk about a lot of things that I believe you can find anywhere. I just don't give you unicorns, okay? I've talked about selling clothing, where you can go into a thrift store and maybe pay $1 or $2, or go to the Goodwill weigh-in pays or the bins and pick stuff up for really cheap. But VHS movies for years have been cheap. They're everywhere, and you're going to be able to find them at garage sales, flea markets, thrift stores, online. You find somebody on Facebook Marketplace posting 100 of them. And I think the biggest thing with all this is just that, you got to know which ones sell, right? And but anyways, I mean, these VHSs will sell on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and some could be long tail, some can sell immediately. It's just part of the craziness of the game. But I really wouldn't overlook these, The other thing I want to talk about, too, is that with VHSs, I'm a big believer in just testing things. Everything I sell, I test it. I make sure it works correctly. And what you can do if you're selling the VHS movies is you just get a VHS player. I mean, you can pick one up for $5. And, you don't have to watch the whole movie. I just play, let it roll for 4 or 5 minutes, make sure it's playing correctly. Then I have a VHS rewinder. So I make sure all the tapes are rewind because, if you want to be kind, you got to rewind. Remember that, guys? The little sticker that was on the VHS rentals. But, yeah, so like what I'm going to do today, guys, is talk about these VHS movies. And the reason for it is it's almost like a memory database, right? I like to throw these images out there. I like to talk about these things. So, honestly, when you're out and about, you'll go, oh, my God, I remember Mike talking about that VHS movie or that T-shirt or whatever it may be, right? It's something that you can retain in your brain, right? And hopefully it'll make you some profits. Like I said before, you don't want to overlook these, but you also don't want to be sitting there at a thrift store, whipping out your phone and scanning every barcode up or typing these in on eBay. It's just a waste of time, And I think it's important. That's why when I'm doing research or I'm looking at anything, I just kind of go through, look at the highest priced things and go down the list, whether it's completed on eBay or looking at Amazon and just seeing what's going on there with price points. But, your time is important. And if you're at a garage sale and there's somebody who's got 400 VHS movies there and you see there's a bunch there and they're not all just like Missions Impossibles or Matrix, because all that stuff that's mass produced really isn't worth much, to be honest with you. It ain't worth picking up. But, just maybe you find a big lot of these, take a chance on them, If they're saying, oh, VH movies are back, they're rare, they're $3 a piece. No, they're not. Offer them a nickel a piece. And most of the time, majority of the time, they'll sell them because they want them out of the house. So, the biggest thing is just, look at what you find when you find these. And then, you got to ask yourself, hey, what's the best platform for these? Sometimes it's eBay, sometimes it's Amazon. It just depends on the title. So let's look at a couple of these here. There's 11 I'm going to show you. The first one here is Deadly Encounter, sold for $115 on eBay. And it's just these rare, obscure movies that are out of print or they're cult classics. And you're going to start to see a trend here of what are some of the top-selling ones on eBay. This next one here to the right here is a Howard Hughes film called Son of Sinbad, sold for $135. And anytime you see like the classic stuff, you'll see that some of those bring some good money, give or take. But Son of Sinbad, that's a great one. Again, all these are sold on eBay. This next one here, let me pull this up here if I can get this going. Here we go. It is California Axe Massacre, sold for $149, and just amazing. I mean, who'd have thought $149 for a VHS tape? But it's a lot of these horror films, guys. They're out of print. Huge collectors of stuff are looking for these movies to get into their movie vault. There's no doubt about it, and they will pay a premium for it. Next one here is Mama's Dirty Girls, another horror film, and $149 again. So when I'm out and about, I know a lot of what these titles are. I know which ones to be looking for. So when I'm out and about and I see, the horror films, that immediately catches my eye, and I look those up. if I don't know what they are, because there's a lot of gems, guys, that are 20, 40, $50 range that that you might overlook if you've never looked into the VHS market. So the horror thing is that'll just stop me in my tracks when I'm sitting there at a thrift store or garage sale, and I'll go, okay, what is this? Here's one on the left-hand side here called Survival Earth, and $158, guys, $158 for VHS. And you can do the math and do the research yourself on this stuff, guys. Go on eBay, just type in VHS tape and go to completed, hit sold, and just start scrolling down. You'll start to see all these crazy ones. Next one right here is Midnight Video, The Wizard of Gore, $160. Again, these horror films, I'm telling you guys, they huge demand, and they sell throughout the year. There's no doubt about it. They tend to bring a little bit more money closer to Halloween. When I lived in Illinois, one of my neighbors was a huge, like, gore, Halloween, death, horror film freak, right? Great guy. But he just, they'd watch these all the time. And this has never been my forte. I don't even think we've ever showed our kids a horror film. I mean, it's something as simple as, Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. My kids, I don't know. Me and kid don't like that stuff, so we don't watch it. It's not in our house. But I'll pick it up when I see it, because if I can make some money on it, why not? Here's one here. This is an earlier version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Wizard Video, $171. Again, this is why I wanted to make a video here today to talk about this and show it to you guys, because, again, these are VHSs. If your thrift stores are charging a quarter, there's an opportunity, there's a possibility you might be able to find some of these titles, guys, and turning a quarter into $171, I mean, that's amazing. I'm a big believer in there's something always out there, and it's just, do you know about everything? Obviously, you can't know about everything, but at the same point in time, if you are training your brain to think about some of these different obscurities just researching eBay, these things will start to compound in your head, and when you're out and about, you're going to spot these things. Because if you don't know about them, how would you know, right? Like, if you're watching this video and you're like, I had no idea about VHS, now you're going to learn something here, right? And you're going to look at something and say, wait a minute. And it's going to make you money at the end of the day if you find these titles, like here, like this Halloween, right? Earlier version again. And this, $180. $180 for this, The Night He Came Home. $180 for VHS tape. It's craziness, and something that I've always been looking for many, many years. And last three here, guys, is left on the left-hand side is Night Ripper, the world premiere, another horror film, $190, just crazy. This one here to the middle is called Devil, another crazy horror film, gore, crazy, saw me up, cut me in half, cut me with a freaking machete, $210. And then the other thing that I want to throw out here too is that there's money with the Disney VHS movies. There's money with all different types of VHS movies. But the two, I think, that are really consistent sellers if you find them, and again, you got to look for the oddballs or the cult classics, is wrestling ones. There's no doubt about it. You start looking at those older 80s wrestling VHSs, wow, they'll bring some amazing money. Here's one here, The Gathering. It's a Starrcade 1985 wrestling, just a VHS movie. $258. $258. So, yeah, it's just one of these things, guys, that I'm going to say it again, going around, running around, looking for all different things. Don't overlook VHS movies, but don't spend all day sitting there, and loading them all in a cart and scanning them individually. Trust me, you're going to waste your time. And just go out there, do the research ahead of time, and then when you're in the field, see if you see any of these titles. See if you remember any of the titles you saw on the complete listings on eBay that go for over $40. But if there's one that sticks out to you and you're like, hey, this one I'm not too sure about, then look it up. That's the beauty of having a phone. Scan it on Amazon. But also remember, right? Just because Amazon's not the end-all be-all, guys. You know what I mean? It's not the end-all be-all when it comes to that's where you sell the VHS at, because eBay, I'll tell you what, I mean, even though there's a ton of VHS that sell for excellent money on Amazon, there's a lot that sell on eBay too. So don't overlook that. So if you guys like this video, I don't want to take up too much of your time today. Hit the like button for sure. That'll tell me, hey, Mike, I like this type of video. I like what you're talking about here. I like you're showing me cool things, stuff I should be on the lookout for. It'll be awesome. Also, too, if you've sold VHS in the past, do me a favor. If I'm sharing, you're sharing, right? Leave a comment down below and say, hey, Mike, this is what VHS I sold for crazy money, right? Put the title out there, because the more we can have the information in our head, the more opportunities for all of us to go out there and make money. For the people that are out there saying there's no money, I can't find anything at the thrift store, they don't know what to look for. Okay? They don't know what to look for. Right? And I'm telling you guys, you spend a little bit of time. If this is the first time you're digging into VHSs, and you stay committed and say, all right, I'm going to try to find a gem. Because you're going to have to go through like 300 or 400 before you find one gem. Okay? But when you find it, hopefully it's one of these killer titles, guys, where you make like $258 on it. Right? So with that being said, guys, super appreciate you watching here today. Just having fun making some videos, guys. Just staying busy, being productive, and just making it happen, right? It's the American dream, going out there and crushing it. So, until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.